In today's video, I want to give you some expectations of what it's like to work in IT, as well as 6 questions that you can ask yourself to know if IT is right for you. Justin here with Succeeded IT. In this channel, I want to help you start and grow a career in IT into something you love and to create the success you want. Let's get into it. There's a lot of people that want to get into IT, and I think it's important for you to know what to expect on the job. First and foremost, you need to know that IT can be a lot of work. This doesn't mean that every day is crazy and that you're going to be working hard, long hours every day. There's, of course, going to be slow days. If there wasn't, we'd all go crazy. But inevitably, something's going to need to be replaced, repaired, or upgraded, and more often than not, this can lead to some long working hours. Typically, things like this require a lot of focus and attention, but it will also create a really strong bond with the team that you're working with. It's really gratifying to finish something with the team that you've been working long hours, or you've been staying late, or maybe you've been working some weekends, because you can all celebrate when this is done. And that's important too, to go out and celebrate these successes. Otherwise, you don't want to do it again next time. It's important to reward hard work. Another thing to expect in IT is that nobody notices when everything is working perfectly. Sometimes this can be tough and demoralizing because it's a bit of a polarized feedback. No one outside of the IT department and the team that you work for will notice when you're doing a good job and everything is working perfectly, because the business has come to expect everything to be working perfectly. The flip side of this is everybody will notice if you mess up one little thing. If you're doing some sort of an upgrade to maybe an email system over the weekend and something doesn't go right, and on Monday half of the business can't access their email systems, you will hear it. Everybody will notice this. And this is just something that comes with the territory of working in IT. You have to get used to the fact that doing your job well will go unnoticed. Another thing to expect is that you will always be learning. Basically, you can never learn enough in IT. Every day, new technology comes out, and probably every week, you're going to have to learn something new to solve a problem or find a solution for something that you've never had to work with before. In IT, this is the norm, and your ability to read the manual, search for solutions, use Google is a valuable skill in the industry. Another thing to get used to in IT is that you might work some strange hours. You're not going to work strange hours all of the time. IT is still a 9-to-5 type of job, but there's going to be situations where you're going to have to do work when nobody else is doing work. If you're doing maintenance windows, or if you're doing upgrades to a system, or basically anything that's going to affect the production systems, this will cause a situation where nobody else in the business can work, and you're going to have to do this after hours or on the weekend or at midnight. I used to work for a company where we did maintenance windows once a month at midnight on a Friday, and that's just part of the territory. Another thing to understand is that the business IT systems and infrastructure and network is not your playground. It can be really exciting to be in IT and working with all these really cool systems and different data center technologies and different softwares, but this is all in place to support the business. You need to expect that you have documentation and processes in place to do things, as well as approvals. One of the greatest things about being in IT is some of the old systems that are used in the business do retire, and a lot of times you can take these systems that the business is no longer using and learn how to use it better, or play with it at home, or play with it in a lab at the office, but you're never going to be able to do this on a production system. So let's dig into this pop quiz. I'm going to give you 6 questions for you to ask yourself and know if IT is right for you. So my first question for you is, do you have curiosity to learn new things and what they do and how they work? You're always going to hear about some new technology that you've never worked with before, and there's new technology being developed every day. So you need to be curious about what these are and how they work, because if you're not, then you're not going to continue to excel in the industry. Number 2, do you like to take things apart and put them back together? This goes in line with curiosity. I remember when I was a teenager and I had my first opportunity to take apart a computer and learn what everything is. I was extremely curious about what all the components are, what they're called, and what they do, as well as what the cables are, what the connectors are, what the connector types are, how they plug into the motherboard, what the RAM is, and every little specification about this. You should bring this kind of attitude to your work. You should be curious about what this is, why it is, and how it works. Take things apart, put them back together, and you'll continue to learn new things. Another question you need to ask yourself is, do you get gratification out of listening to people's problems and helping them solve them? Helping people solve problems and do their job easier is the core value of what IT brings to the business. If you're not interested in listening to people and understanding their problems and then helping them do things in a better way, then IT is probably not for you, because this is common. Number 4 is, do you have persistence and tenacity to continue and work towards solving complex problems? It's inevitable that you're going to run into situations that you don't know what to do, and you might feel like giving up. You can't give up. This is a failing attitude, and you will not be able to take this attitude into work in an IT environment. You need to be able to push through and continue finding answers and solutions to solving complex problems. Your persistence will pay off. If you're the type of person that's going to give up when things get too difficult, then IT is not for you. Question number 5. Do you ever wonder if you can take something that's existing today, maybe a process of doing things, and you think, how can I make this easier, faster, and more reliable? An example of this is backup and restore testing. Typically, most businesses do a restore test maybe once a quarter to make sure their backups are working, and that if they have a disaster, that they can restore their data. In my experience, I found a lot of businesses do this manually. They will manually find the data they need to restore. They will manually run the restore job. They will manually run the report. There's a lot of steps involved with doing a restore test. And in my experience, I found ways to take some of those manual processes away and start making something that's more automated, so that it will just start on its own and generate a report. And by the end of it, it just does its thing. So this is an example of finding something that's done manually and learning and finding ways to do it better. This will take you far in IT. My last question is, are you interested in getting into IT because somebody told you that this is a good career and you can make a lot of money? If that's the case, then IT might not be for you unless you bring passion along with it. Bringing all of this to the table is necessary to be successful in IT. If you're just in it because you heard it's a good career and you think you can make a lot of money, then IT is probably not going to be for you, and you're going to have a tough time enjoying your job. The point is, IT is a lot of work, and you have to want to do it. If you bring passion to your work in IT, you will really go far in this field. And if you want to get into IT and you don't know where to start, then check out my Intro to IT series, where I start by explaining what you need to know all the way through how to land your first job. I'll put a link to that playlist down below. As always, nothing's going to change for you unless you take action. Your IT career is not going to come and find you. You have to create your own success. I'd love to hear from you and learn what you guys want to talk about next down in the comments. As always, give me some likes if you like what I'm doing here, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. I've got new videos coming out every Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.